Hey guys, I'm your sis Myrtala. I know it's been a long time and I've been working on a lot of things. If you've watched my last video, you would have known I've been working on my own story. Recently, a question has been on my mind while I'm working on my story. How to create a story? This is the question, the first question each and every writer faces when they start writing their own story. Where do I begin? What should I create? How am I supposed to get an idea to create my own story? There is a lot of questions that pop up in your head every time. Every story should have a starting point, a middle point, and an end point. Even though this doesn't apply to every story, these are the base. This is the base. After working on my story for past 9 months, I love world building for my story. I love creating its own mythology. That's the first thing I did when I started creating my story. Creating the myth of the world. When it comes to creating something, you come to a point where you realize you have the creative liberty to do whatever you want and nobody's going to ask a question because it's your story. And when I started thinking like this, my mind started to wonder, what should I create? There is a lot of endless possibilities, but how should I pin it to one unique story? First, figure out the genre. Does your where does your story take place in? Is it fantasy, action, comedy, romance? After figuring that, figure out about what you like when you read or watch something. What impresses you? If you think about how does a publisher come up with their story ideas, let me tell you a secret. Nowadays, most shows are just retelling of a mythology that they were inspired by, like Percy Jackson, Thor, even Nine Tales from Naruto. So when I started seeing the pattern that every popular fiction story is more or less inspired by some kind of mythology, that's when I started doing my deep dives into different myths of our world, in the scientific way and even in the spiritual way. The thing that made me want to create my own story was OVR, Omniscient Reader Point of View. That inspired me a lot. I learned a lot from it. I learned the possibility of ineffability. Now, see, yeah, that was a lot to say. Yeah, I learned the possibility that you can create whatever you want without, making and breaking the law. Oh my god, what am I saying? And when I watched Jujutsu Kaisen, I learned how important is a character's death. We all know how that ended. After reading a lot of stories and watching a lot of myths, my brain started asking a lot of questions. When you learn about different views and myths of how a world was created or even how people predicted it's gonna end, you start creating your own idea how you should create your own story. You start asking, oh, what if I do it like this? If this was supposed to happen, why don't I make it happen like in this way? That's how you start creating an idea. That's how it comes to me, and that's how I started creating my own story. If a story inspires you, take it, make it your own, put your own thoughts into it. What would you have done if you were in the character's point of view or even in the author's point of view? If you want to write a story, if you want to be a writer, first you should be a learner. Like, I'm not telling you to learn about math or science or something. I'm telling you to learn about mythologies, the history. Not even history, mythology is enough to make the creativity keep flowing. For instance, if you have watched Naruto, did you ever question how did they come with the Nine Tails mythology? I did. I did my little research and found out that Nine Tails is a mythology in Japanese mythology. It is a creature that exists in Japanese mythology. Be curious and ask question nobody asks. If you don't, nobody is gonna ask the same question as you because you are different from others. Your way of thinking is different from others. So you may surprise yourself when you start asking questions. It's like in Hamlet, to be or not to be. That is the question. To be the person who is curious about the world and wants to learn from the life, or to be the person who is satisfied with the answer they have and not to dwell on the matters which is more complex. Well, if you choose the second one, I would say you're restricting yourself from creative freedom. Like Neil Gaiman said, friction is the lie that tells you the truth. Think about it. And if you chose the first one, well, that's burden of itself. Come to the group, man. Like, we all felt the burden of the weight of the thing you're creating. Asking the questions others don't ask, thinking uniquely in some other perspective the world will not acknowledge. People will start looking at you differently, looking at you in a different light. Some will say you're brilliant, some will say you're thinking too much, and some will even critique you for the way you think. But everything is a learning experience. You learn something without even trying to learn, and that will help you to improve your own story. Other things I like to do is to understand people, observe how they react to some situations. People are like walking books. You can learn a lot and see the different chapters of their lives. And this will help you to understand or to write a character, making the character's reaction being more authentic and creating their depth and emotion. Even listening to songs, watching anime helps me a lot to understand characters' point of view and perspectives and emotions of human life, and that will help you to elaborate that in your own story. And I hope you have an idea of what I'm trying to say. I know it's a big thing to think about creating your own world, your original character. And it could be energy draining, but keep going. If you're still watching this video and you want to create your own story, comment the name of your story. I would love to read your story. So cheer up, go start writing, go start building your world. I also have a lot to do, so hopefully I will see you in my next video. Until, bye. Keep the creativity flowing.